when we get back. What the fuck happened to Chase?
We just were saying I don't know what he's doing.
We'll come back. We'll go into 7 minutes and we'll do the same thing again like we did before. Makes sense.
Classic Chase.
There it is. Classic Chase, just showing up whenever the fuck he wants.
Just
fuck it.
whenever he wants.
It's Wi-Fi's.
Hey guys, join me in the closet. It's 7 minutes in heaven. It's fucking awkward just seeing my face with his thing.
Your professional picture.
Everybody, check out YouTube if you guys want to watch us. We have this on YouTube as well now. But that being said, guys, it's 7 minutes in heaven. I keep forgetting that Kevin's not here, so no one's introducing, and I keep forgetting who's going to do it.
Kevin's not here.
Kevin's not here.
Kevin's not here. Kevin's not here.
This is when we talk about sports. This originated as a 7 minute kind of segment where we talk about sports only for 7 minutes and then we shut up. But now this goes for 45 to an hour, depending on how much we want to talk about it. This one I feel like is going to be a little depressing because we got.
It's going to start off sad. Yeah.
College World Series, which we will postpone because we have our FSU college baseball expert.
He's gone.
MIA right now.
Fuck it. Left.
Say, the one person that the two people that really carry the sports division of Cup to Cup here are one is on PTO and the other one has just disappeared mid-show and left us with Jason's glamour shot.
And mind you, FSU baseball of all things, the thing that he's most passionate about.
So what you're saying, Jose, is this actually could last 7 minutes?
If he doesn't get back, this could literally be 7 minutes.
This episode could actually be 7 minutes long.
Let's go straight to NHL because I've heard a little bit about this. The only thing I've heard is from the podcast. I think it's called Spit and Chicks or Spin. Does anything ring a bell to that with Chris?
Spin. Yeah, I've heard that. Spit.
They keep interviewing this chick that showed her tits during one game.
Oh, the Edmonton Oilers girl.
Yeah, and then ever since then they've kind of come back.
Chase her titties. He's back now.
Shit.
Yeah. Chase is back.
So Chase,
different girl.
What we're talking about right now is hockey because we didn't know you were around, but there's a possible historic collapse. What's going on with this collapse? What are the
basically? Florida went up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals, and Edmonton has won the last three, so now they're 3-3.
And
they're playing
blown them out.
It hasn't been close for a majority since Edmonton started winning. So they're playing Game 7. When you hear this, that will be you'll hear this 7 minutes on Tuesday, so it will be the day after. But they're playing Game 7 on Monday night. So, being a Lightning fan, I'd love to see Florida absolutely fold and just melt down.
Are they before going in and being 3-0? Were they favored regardless?
They're deeper for sure. Edmonton has two absolute star players. They have probably arguably the best player in the NHL right now.
But
and
Florida,
Connor McDavid.
Like he said, Florida's deeper, and they were predicted to win this
They have
series.
the better goalie, and they're deeper.
But they've just had a meltdown, and it would be great to see that meltdown conclude on Monday night with them losing fourth in a row.
You're Lightning fans, I get that. So is there, in any other sport out there, has there anything been something kind of close to this? Let's say they do capitalize on the comeback.
Boston Red Sox, Yankees.
Nope, baseball got canceled that year.
Oh, baseball got canceled that year. Weird. I feel like a streak got canceled that year.
Is that the famous Bloody Sock game or a series?
With Kurt Schilling? Yes.
There's some legend about it. People talk about it. It's not a thing.
Something.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy with the bloody sock. That dude.
The guy with the ketchup on his sock?
Ketchup on his
sock.
Jeez.
Full of shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow. But yes, it has happened before. It's happened in basketball, I believe, once or twice as well.
I think it's happened in hockey once. I think this would be the second time a team would win after falling down 3-0 in the finals.
So it's not unheard of, but it is extremely rare in any sport.
Gotcha. Okay. So, you're freezing up on me, Chase, so that's why I was like, I can't tell if he's there. I know you're going to get upset. Wolverine's going to get upset.
Going to get mad.
Chase moved into a new place, so he's fucking with some internet. So just bear with us, guys. He's gonna figure it out. He's moved away from Colorado, which is right next door to Google.
One room away from the router would be having issues.
Just if that's the case, all you gotta do is drill a small hole
in view
through the
of
hole.
the router. No, there's no holes are needed. Well, Jose might disagree, but no holes are needed. It's not sealed off.
Point.
I disagree. You got to have at least one.
Yeah, I mean, literally, there's no door here. There's a doorway that leads to the next room, and it was having issues.
Have you done a speed test on your phone and then a speed test on your computer to see if it's your internet or if it's your device?
So I did a speed test on my internets.
But when I say on your internets, though, here you guys, I know we're talking about sports right now, but hey, maybe you're gaming and you need to understand some
it's a
troubleshooting.
quick tech side
The way
conversation.
to quick figure out your troubleshooting issues, if it's your device or if it's your internet, test it on multiple devices. And if you get multiple different speeds, then you know it's your device. But if they're all consistent and then you're consistently bad, you know it's your router. So that's what I would fuck around with.
Okay.
If you say like 3 megabytes or something, I'll fucking cry.
No, currently my computer, again, you have to keep in mind I moved back in here because I was having issues. So it should be faster. I literally could almost reach the router. But no, if anything, the computer is faster than my phone is. So
There you go. Coming back to the whole sports thing, I do want to mention that in the history of Major League Baseball, the National Basketball Association, and the National Hockey League, teams that were down 3-0 in a series came back to win 5 total times. The history of all of those combined, 4 times in the NHL and once in Major League Baseball. So
never in the NBA. For some reason, I thought it was. Oh, that's right, because that was the whole thing. The Heat, the Celtics 2 years ago. The Celtics' whole thing was like, let us get 1. And then the Heat did, and the Celtics got 3, and then the Heat beat them in Game 7.
Yep. So it
4
was
times
close.
in
It's
NHL.
never
Okay.
happened in the NBA, but it's happened 4 times in the NHL and once in Major League Baseball. So
Got you.
And what was that once in Major League Baseball? Could you refresh my memory?
I'm
For some
trying
reason,
to find it.
it's cloudy. I'm having
Yeah,
trouble
I just-
remembering it.
I don't.
Fucking A.
No, I say I would believe it, but I see you moving.
All right,
Wait,
so
that-
it's that time. We got to bring it up. It hurts.
It's so spotty.
But we're doing it.
SEC, Florida State, your team, your heartbeat. We some dogs.
SEC.
We might be there one day soon.
All right, so we're cursed, right? I mean, it's official. Like, it has to be official. We're cursed.
I mean,
Are we more cursed than the Red Sox before the Red Sox beat the Yankees? Crazy
No.
that we just talked about
No.
that. And we're here.
because that one was
okay.
over 100 years. So, no.
Yeah, we're not
100
that
years,
cursed.
but how many times did they make it to the World Series and not win? Versus
Well, not
how
the
many
World
times we
Series.
made it?
No, for them, the equivalent would be making the playoffs.
The playoffs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because the College World Series is 8 teams. The playoffs for most of their run would have been 8 teams. So it would be making the playoffs. And I bet it's similar. I bet during that run, if anything, I bet they had been, I mean, we went, 23 times? I would imagine over a 100-year span, they made it at least 23. But I'll let someone known for fact check that. But yeah, I mean, it's tough because you'll never convince me of
24
several
times
things.
with this last one.
Yeah, I thought this was 24.
You'll never
this year.
convince me of several things. One being, if we win that game on Friday, we win it all. That's just in my head. You'll never convince me different.
You're
It's-
breaking up bad right now, Chase. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad. Is he breaking up for you guys or is it just me?
No,
I wasn't hearing him break up at all. No.
Oh, my bad. Never mind. Keep talking. That's on me then. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, Jason's. Jason's the one with the shitty Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you'll never convince me that if we don't win Friday, we don't win at all.
That would
But
change
that's-
everything.
I mean, and that's just how this team was built. Well, I shouldn't say that's how it's built. That's how it was built after massive injuries to our pitching staff. After we lost Cam Leiter, which before that we lost a UCF transfer with starting experience who was supposed to be a big part of our bullpen. And before that, we lost Gavin Adams, who was a JUCO prospect who throws 100 miles an hour. And 2 of those 3 pitchers didn't pitch at all. The other pitcher didn't pitch for 3 months. Even overcoming 3 major pitching losses, this team had every chance to win a College World Series, but losing Game 1 was it was almost impossible to come back
I
from.
mean, that's a huge mountain when you do that.
It's
'cause then
almost
you go to the
impossible
losers
for
bracket
any
and then,
team.
yeah.
But especially for this team with their lack of pitching depth. The fact that we got the performance we did out of Andrew Armstrong, and Connor Holtz saved us. And apparently we thought about going to Jamie Arnold. We asked him if he was ready to go. You have to remember, college pitchers don't pitch on the same schedule as major league pitchers. Major league pitchers, typically they come around, it's, the starter, the number 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back to the ace. For college, there's a week in between. So MLB pitchers are used to pitching on, 4 to 5 days rest. College pitchers, for the most part, pitch on 6 to 7 days rest. So it's a little harder for college pitchers to switch up their rest and go from, 6 to 7 days to 3 to 4 days. MLB pitchers in the postseason, they'll pitch on 3 days rest. Like, that happens. That doesn't happen for the most part in college.
Now, depending on how many pitches they're throwing, they'll schedule bullpen sessions to get themselves ready to pitch on lower rest on the playoffs.
And that probably would have been his bullpen day. And so what I think probably would have happened, say FSU is up 2-1 in the 8th inning, I think we would have brought Arnold in to close that game. I think they would have used this as a bullpen day for him if we needed to close out the game.
Yeah, because then he could technically come out in the next day or two and be fine.
Saturday, probably, which would have been game 1 of the College World Series. Or say we're up 11-1 in the 6th or 7th inning. John Abraham goes 5 solid innings, giving up 1 run, and our offense blows up and scores 10 runs. We probably don't use him at all, and then we use him for the clinching game against Tennessee on Thursday, under presumably not 80, 90 pitches. But yeah, I mean, losing game 1.
It's a huge mountain.
Almost killed
bracket.
Our chances. Yeah, we needed 2 days. We needed either giant offensive performances or we needed pitchers to step up. Well, against North Carolina, we had pitchers step up and a solid offensive performance. Against Tennessee, we had John Abraham not even make it 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a tough start there.
Yeah, and so, I mean, and then our offense we had chances. I mean, base running mistakes, hard hit balls all night right at people. I mean, it just felt like it wasn't our night. And on top of not being our night, our guys didn't step up. Like, if it's not going to be your night against the number 1 team in the nation, you got to play perfect ball.
I mean, come on. Exactly.
You have to play perfect ball. And we
pretty
didn't.
much. You can't.
We didn't. We made base running mistakes. We made fielding mistakes. We made pitching mistakes. We kind of killed ourselves on top of getting killed. So it just wasn't going to happen.
Does it sting more that now Tennessee is where they're at, which is what? What are we at? Like game?
No, they won, so it's tomorrow. Monday night
Game
will be
3
like
will
the
be Monday
championship.
night,
They lost the first game. They won tonight.
They won tonight.
And
so
no,
they
it
forced
doesn't
the game
sting
3.
anymore.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If Tennessee were to
personally,
win, would you?
Doesn't sting any more or less. No.
Doesn't sting anymore. Okay.
No.
Like,
To me, it's hard because the way that we lost that game, I'm just like seeing Tennessee progress makes me feel like that literally could have been us. Like,
No, again, the way with our lack of pitching depth, we really needed to go basically 3-0.
let's pretend. Let's pretend. Let's play pretend. Right. Let's pretend we won that game. We made it to the College World Series against Texas A&M. How do you think we would fare against Texas A&M?
If we won Friday night and then won, what would that be, Sunday, and then won Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, obviously it's 2 different stories if we won that first game against Tennessee and then made it to the College World
If
Series.
we win that first game, to me, we win in 3. We go 3-0 because we didn't have to use Whitaker that much. Well, I mean, we did, but it was Friday. He wouldn't pitch again until Wednesday. So, yeah, I mean, I think we go 3-0 if we win Friday night, which means we're perfectly set up to go Arnold, Dorsey, Whitaker, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is, I mean, that's huge. That's everything for this team. So, yeah, I think we win. I think we win. Arnold. Honestly, I think we win in 2. Arnold is a beast. He had a bad game against Tennessee. There's no denying that. He also got a little bit unlucky at times. but he's insane. He's one of the best pitchers in all of college baseball. Dorsey has been on fire the last month of the season. I mean, against some of the best teams in the nation, he was just killing them. I think we went in two with those two aces and the offense firing outside of that Tennessee game where they still hit a ton of balls hard, just right at people, base running errors. Like, they still were crushing the ball.
Yeah, they were good hits. It just nothing they could do that went right at
you
people.
can't. I'm sorry. You just can't convince me that we're not cursed. I think we're cursed.
I mean, until you win one, we're gonna think we're cursed until we win one.
I think it's not about just winning one. Like basketball, I don't think we're cursed. I think we just suck. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not even trying to bring up
COVID.
basketball.
But no, this is what I'm trying to
You have to
explain,
do
though.
that.
Like, I think there's different teams. Like, I don't think the Browns are cursed. I think they just suck. You know what I mean? The
Mismanagement
FSU,
and-
on paper, there's so many teams that we made to the World Series that I watched, and we've just botched it. It just completely like sucked. And it always goes back to like we come in there with like the best offense in the fucking league with on paper supposed to have really good like pitching, like Chase said, like, hey, like our pitching, and I know we got hurt by injuries and that could go back to the whole curse thing, but
and that's
to
what
this day,
kills me.
I'm sorry, but I feel like every year we do this, every year there's some excuse, and I feel like every year I just lean more and more towards the curse, which I know some people don't and do not believe, but personally, I do not see us ever winning a fucking World Series. Like 24
ever or in
chances-
your lifetime?
Ever. I mean, in my lifetime, either one, bro. You're telling me in the next 40 years we won't win one? Like, that is fucking miserable. So to me, I think we're cursed. If you can't win it with Buster Posey and them, we can't win it with this fucking team and get as hot as we did early
Drew.
on. Dude, I feel like if we had just average teams that got lucky and moved all the way up, I think some of the teams that I've looked up, I'm like, we had some fucking hitters, bro.
We had,
Oh, we
we've
had
had
some-
some.
yeah.
And again, look, baseball's a crazy sport. I know I preface that a lot. Like, I'm sorry, that 2013 FSU team literally in football literally faced a team that knew their fucking signals for half of the game and still came back and won because they were that fucking talented. And it's football. Like, you can overcome like crazy shit sometimes by pure fucking talent. In baseball, it becomes a little harder to like, again, some of those balls were absolutely crushed.
Just
Absolutely destroyed. I mean, Marco Dinges, goddamn, dude. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy hit 3 balls as fucking hard as he did and go 0 for 3. He hit 3 balls to the deepest part of the park, or 2 balls to the
rough
deepest
game,
part of the park
man.
for outs,
It was.
and then crushed a line drive right at somebody. Like, Jesus Christ.
New York,
That dude,
New York. The
talk about
baseball
curse. Talk about
baseball's
curse.
a rough
I guarantee
sport.
you after that game, he was like, I was fucking cursed this game because I don't know what else I could have done. Like,
yeah.
I destroyed those balls. But like I get what you're saying. It is really hard for me because the worst part of this team, because the offense was sick, the starting pitching at the top was sick. The worst part of this team was pitching depth. And Link going into the season, I guarantee you is like, I feel like we have good pitching depth because he had Jamie Arnold, who turned into one of the best pitchers in the nation. He had Connor Whitaker, a veteran pitcher who's been very good his whole career. He had Cam Leiter, a guy that's projected as a first-round pick. He had Gavin Adams going into the year, a guy who throws 100 and could have turned into a first-round pick. He had, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Marlowe from UCF, who had starting experience, relief experience, had been a very good pitcher. He had 5 very good pitchers on top of other talented pitchers, Dorsey coming from JUCO, who turned out to be a very good pitcher.
so he's like, I'm fucking
I
stacked.
promise you, going into this season, he felt great about his pitching depth. And then what happens? He loses Gavin Adams before the season starts. Marlowe had heart fucking surgery before the season starts. Cam Leiter had this mysterious injury a month in out of nowhere. So 3 of your top 6 pitchers out of nowhere are gone for the year.
Yep.
And so you go from having great pitching depth to no pitching depth like that.
Shouldn't have used
So-
that gif of Mariano Rivera, man. That's the curse right there. That's the curse.
Oh,
right
bro. And that hurt too because apparently he was like looking good. And Link was like, yeah, I think we're getting him back. And then he threw a bullpen right before the playoffs. And apparently it went terribly. So, anyways, man, I want to disagree, Jay. I don't believe in curses. I do believe that FSU has had some pretty horrible luck. If you want to call that a curse, that is what it is. I mean, there's no denying there's been insanely talented FSU teams time and time again that have not won. So I could see someone calling that a curse in that sense, because it is. I mean, it's FSU by now, just by pure sheer dumb luck, should have won one.
You think, gotten at least one somewhere in there.
I don't know how you want to rank this. I mean, we argued with it earlier in the beginning, saying like the Red Sox curse is worse. And I agree with you guys. 100 years is
100
crazy.
years, yeah.
But 24 appearances has like there has to go into some kind of category. Like that has to be like the biggest.
At least 10 of those, if they weren't favored, they were a top 3 favored team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they just 24 times got like snuck their way into college.
Get lucky to
a
get
lot
there.
of those times they were the favorite.
It's you can't really explain it, because if you would think 24 opportunities, you would think we would have won at least one.
Like you said, you would have just stumbled and gotten lucky. And
What do you call that? Do you call that the biggest upset in college baseball? Do you call it?
It doesn't make any sense.
It's the saddest team, the biggest choke artist. Like, how would you label that?
What I will counter is if you look at FSU football in the 80s and 90s before they won their national championship, a lot of people thought FSU football was cursed, dude. If you go back and like listen to people talk about that, there were so many times where, I mean, think about the wide lefts and wide rights. They were the best team in the if college football playoff had been around in the 80s and 90s, FSU would have won at least 3 more championships. At least. But it wasn't. Man. Yes, dude. There's so many times where FSU either got insanely unlucky and missed chip shot, like 30-yard field goals to win games. So much crazy shit happened to FSU football in the 80s and 90s that I swear to God, if you go back and like read articles in the 80s and 90s, people thought FSU football was cursed. They thought Bobby just could not win the big one. They thought that Bobby collapsed specifically when they played Miami. Goddamn Miami. But like, people were literally like, Bobby, he just, he's a great coach, but he's never going to win the big one. That was his knock. And think about the 93 season. What happened? They lost the big one. They lost the game against Notre Dame. And what did it take for them to get to the national championship? Luck. It took Notre Dame losing the next week to an okay Boston College team to get them in the national championship against Nebraska. And even then, FSU, Bobby made some bad calls. FSU kicked a field goal. They could have run the clock down to 1 second and kicked a field goal to win the game. And instead, he kicked a field goal with like 45 seconds left for God knows what reason. He could have run it down to 1. Mm-hmm. That is something that because then what happened, FSU took the lead, Nebraska got the ball back and got into field goal range in 45 seconds and had a chance at a game-winning field goal and missed. If Nebraska makes that, Bobby and FSU might be known as the cursed team and the team that couldn't win the big one, because frankly, Bobby made a bad call in that game that could have easily cost FSU. So it's hard to like say we're cursed because this is a separate coach. So is it the team that was cursed? Is it Mike Martin that was cursed? Is it nobody that's cursed and FSU got insanely lucky? I don't know, man, but I'm not going to say that FSU or Link is cursed until we give it 5 years in his tenure. If 5 years from now FSU's made 4 more College World Series and lost them, then yeah, I might be on that.
4 more? You need 4 more of those to
4 more to confirm.
4 more. Look, if Mike Martin went to 20 of them, 18 of them by himself,
Is there any other team that's even remotely close to appearances and not winning something?
If I remember on the TV, it said Carolina was like North Carolina's 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like half of ours.
I think it was North Carolina. Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
that's
man.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I'm telling you, though, people thought that about FSU football, too. And it wasn't like this. It wasn't this far. It wasn't this far.
They won.
I'll give you that.
So
they did, but not right away. They were a top 5 team in the nation for like a decade before they won.
A decade, though. 24 appearances
I agree.
Counts for what, 2 decades?
So, I agree, man. I agree that it's not to this extent. But, hey, man, if they hadn't won that 93 game, it would have been coming close to 2 decades for that 99 win. And that 93 win, I mean,
Good,
I
would
guess
ya?
you could say that's what broke the curse because we got lucky as shit that season, frankly.
I mean, I will
we
take
blew it
some
against
fucking
Boston
luck.
Co-
That's
or
all
against
baseball.
Notre Dame. Yeah.
That's baseball.
We've argued this before about luck or not. I will take luck over skill any fucking day if that gives us a goddamn championship.
You got to have
Give me a
both
fucking
in baseball.
yeah.
You need luck and skill.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Absolutely.
just fuck it. That's enough.
In football, I feel like you can overcome with just skill. Again, that 2013 team, the other team had their fucking plays for half of the game. For half of the game, the other team knew every offensive play we were running. And that team was so skilled that for the second half, when they stopped learning our plays, they came back and won.
Yeah.
Football, it's a little easier to overcome. Baseball, in my again, purely my opinion, in baseball, it's way harder to overcome luck.
Overcome.
That's fair, guys. Speaking of more baseball, we're gonna tune this into Major League Baseball with some fantasy studs and duds. That's it. That's all you guys get.
That's it. It's just little teeth.
I still remember making that like super drunk gaming with Kevin.
I
Going
love
like,
it.
"Hey, what do you think of this?" He goes, "What the fuck are you gonna use that for?" I was like, "Fantasy time." Does it
I
make
used to
sense?
make
He's like,
intros super drunk.
Chase, bro, are you ready for your stud and dud?
Definitely not.
I want to say
Damn
this. We're,
Shit.
we're recording this a day earlier than we usually do, and so the fantasy week is still going on.
Oh shit!
There's
Me and
a-
Jose's game is super close.
It is very tight. So Chase and I are facing each other this week. I
have one
had
player left.
I have 2 players left.
2 players
Ooh.
in the bottom of the ninth.
Oh
I know.
man,
so
this
right
is
now,
like live
currently,
update.
I have Brandon Nemo and Pete Alonso. The Mets are currently up 5-2 on the Cubbies, and I am rooting for the Cubbies to tie
To
this
tie
game.
it. Yeah, that's your only shot.
Because that is my only shot. I had an 87 to 23 day yesterday. I was like, I think I might finally pull it off and beat Chase.
Finally pull it. I'm 7-5. Plenty of teams have beaten me.
I'm not talking about nobody else but me, bro. Every time
don't
I
give a
face
shit.
you, we get really close, and then you find a way on the last day
This
to
is-
run away with it.
Which this is the second straight week I've started a guy, and then on Tuesday they put him on IL. Like,
Well-
put him on IL on Monday. What are we
I don't
doing
know-
here?
I don't know if you noticed, but I also started a
Did
pitcher this week that got put on the IL on Tuesday. So I wasn't too mad about it because I was like, all right, well, at least it happened to him too. So we both lost guys we thought would be starting twice
That's
this
fair.
week.
That's fair.
But still, I had that monster day yesterday, and then today you have fucking Sonny Gray come out and pitch like a perfect
He's a
game
good
through
pitcher.
like 5 innings. And then of course that other guy
Max Fried,
of yours did okay.
that Max
against
Fried guy,
whatever
Maxwell.
team.
the guy that constantly finishes top 10 in Cy Young awards.
No, I don't know anything about the National League. Nobody watches that. But you know.
It's interesting.
Now here we are sitting. What is that? A 6-point difference? We are
5 point difference.
5 points. You're at 334.5 to 329.5.
And you need this game to go to extras.
I need this game to go to extras. I need the Cubbies to go to extras. And
I'm going to be honest. I'd prefer if it didn't.
I think
Appreciate your honesty. He'd be like, I don't want it to go to extras. Actually, if it could stop.
It'd be great if it didn't do that.
I would really like it if it did. Looks like Diaz of the Mets closer right now might be getting it. Just got ejected from the game.
Oh,
Holy
because
shit.
of an illegal substance on his glove.
sir.
Leave it to the fucking Mets.
So
What's on your glove, sir?
This is going to make things
just
a little
semen.
different. Interesting.
It's just my.
It's
Oh, if it's just semen.
It's just
Sorry,
semen.
whatever,
Don't-
dude.
Don't eject
Man,
me. It's
I
not
just
substance.
needed to rub one out. So just to make things a little bit more interesting, now the Mets have lost their closer, and they've put
Mets are gonna Mets.
the Mets are going to Mets. Hopefully, the Mets real good so that Alonso gets another at bat here. So, based off of what we have so far, Chase, I can tell you who your studs and duds are, but why don't you please do?
Please do.
Let me tell you, your team.
It'd be easier if you did that. Actually,
Yeah. Well, why don't we do each other? Ooh.
Ooh.
You horny bitches.
you know, a guy who has Shohei Ohtani on his fucking roster is gonna
It helps.
Is gonna rack up some points. So you got Shohei Ohtani racked up the most points as your stud with 51 points. I like always to look at the highest scoring offensive player because that's sometimes a little bit more impressive. And you would have Ryan McMahon.
He's been solid all year,
Ryan
dude.
McMahon. I was
Solid
very
all
surprised.
year.
31 points this week. Solid. He's two position player, third baseman, second baseman. What is he at? Like he's owned 61% of the league. So if
I picked him up like a month and a half ago, and he's been killing it. Hey, you guys sleeping on Ryan McMahon are insane. He's been killing it all season.
61% owned. So if you are looking for a second baseman or third baseman in your fantasy league, Ryan McMahon might be out there for y'all. And then your dud of the week,
Other than Justin Verlander.
other than Justin Verlander, who magically landed on the IL again, looks like it's gonna be Julio Rodriguez. The Seattle Mariners got you 3 total points this week.
Hey,
Week for
that's not the week you want there.
You know, speaking of the Seattle Mariners, that's going to be your dud of the week, which is Luis Castillo, who didn't get you 3 points even. He got you negative
No.
3.5 points.
He stole 3.5 points.
The whole week?
The whole week, he got negative
Fired.
3.5 points.
Fired.
Mind you, he's a pitcher too. So.
Oof.
Your stud is Brandon Nemo. Nemo. So you're counting on the Mets to blow it, but it's a Met that has helped carry you to close in this matchup.
Listen, I never said I gave a fuck if they won the games.
Yeah, no, fuck the
I
Mets.
just
Not looking at the results.
we
can agree,
Want
fuck the
these
Mets.
guys to get at bats and score some runs. Brandon Nemo was one of those guys that I just picked up off a whim. He's owned in 85% of the ESPN leagues.
Yeah,
right
can we?
now.
You just got a good feeling.
Why
You're like,
is
I
Ryan
want him.
McMahon or McMahon?
McMahon will probably work there.
Regardless, why is he rostered in 61% of the league when he's 4th position player, and he has been this? It's not like this is like recent. I
Because
picked
he
him up.
plays for the Rockies and nobody watches Colorado.
I've been to several Colorado games. They're terrible.
You used to live there.
Yeah, it was
terrible.
terrible.
Watch it.
It was a
You
terrible.
didn't have a choice.
It was a terrible product, but tickets were cheap and the stadium was nice.
And that's why you went, because it was cheap as shit. You
So nobody knows. Nobody knows. I
didn't go out of your way to go to Rockies
As
games.
much as I love baseball, I would sincerely struggle to name another Rockies player.
Chris Bryant.
Oh, that's right. He is
I had
there.
a Chris Bryant
I couldn't
bobblehead.
name you any of them.
I broke
Yeah.
both of them.
Did you break one of them, or did your
I
son
broke
rip his
one
head
and
off?
Hudson broke one.
It's like,
He's like, ah! Just like, rip
what
his
is
head off.
this?
It was an accident.
Sure it was.
Sure. What about you, Chris? What do you got?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good this week because it's been tough times for Chris. Yeah, Jason's not happy about it because
I didn't set my fucking lineup.
it's
Goddamn
been
Germany.
it's been tough times, but
Look at the matchup. Look at my pitchers. For the whole week, I have 3 pitchers with negative points. All of my hitters have more points than all of my pitchers. That's fucking crazy. Like, I immediately didn't even look. I was like, I'm fucked. So, good luck. Good job, Chris. You got your fucking win.
It's Chris' competitive team. It's been tough 5 drops, but not anymore. We're back in the win column. And really, it's tough to pick a stud when your whole team stepped up this week and got it was a team effort.
How many points do you have?
We're at 263 right now.
Jesus Christ,
63.
Jason, you didn't score 260 points?
Which is funny
Yeah.
because when you
Yeah.
look at, I just want to point this out, looking at the entire league, the lowest scoring team this week was Jason. with
Yeah.
232 points. The second lowest scoring team
Chris.
was Chris.
Boom. Hey, we got the
you,
dub.
you found the one guy you could beat this week. Congrats.
Hey, we're back in the win
Look at
column.
this.
It feels good.
Actually, I think I have from my pitchers. No, wait. Actually, yeah, I have actually combining all the points from all of my pitchers for this week. I have negative points. Like if
No
you combine the positive and the
shot.
negative, I'm in the. I have a negative 20. I have a negative 2, a negative 1. Bro, like I am.
That's,
like
like,
literally
unheard of.
That is.
That's insane.
It's my fault.
That
like
is
I
I've
immediately
never
like
heard of
insane.
that.
Germany time fucked me, and I didn't pay attention. And then, sure enough, I was like,
Always
God
blaming the
damn
Germans,
it.
that Jason.
these Germans.
Shota Imanaga.
Jason's
Shota Imanaga
always
is
blaming the
your
Germans.
dud of the week, Jay. 100% minus 20.
Yeah.
Is that the
Shota
Cub
Imanaga.
guy?
Oh, I see that. Yeah, that's
Is that the Cub guy that he's
Yep,
been
he
like
went-
pumping up as his like stud of the week for like
Yeah.
a year?
No, he
Yeah.
went. Jose, you got to play. Yeah, he went 3 innings, 11 hits, 10 earned runs, a walk,
Jesus
and 3
Christ.
strikeouts for a
Jason.
solid
Oh, he got those
sub
3
20.
Ks, though.
Yeah,
so
sorry, he had 3 strikeouts. So
don't
to go
don't
with those
forget-
10 earned
don't
runs.
fail to mention that.
Holy shit.
I give his whole stat line. I
So yeah,
figured. It
if
was
you
appropriate.
remove the negative, if you remove those negatives, it's a pretty much tie game right now.
It's literally.
If you
can
remove
just
all of my bad
remove
ones,
all the bad decisions.
Not the bad decision. No, it was no decision.
It's like I didn't
The bad
make
decision was
decisions.
not making a decision. That was my bad decision.
You should
I
have
don't-
hit.
I'm not doing I'm not doing a stutter.
No, you
dud.
should
Like,
have
Chris
done
can
what
just have
Kevin
this.
did
They're all
and just
duds.
hit the
No, you're the dud.
automized lineup where it
my
just
stud.
cheats for you. Why didn't you
Yeah,
cheat?
are we giving him a loss for that? I can't remember. What did we decide?
Is this game close?
So
Let's
here's
see.
the deal, right? So
Yeah.
for those of you, just to give you all a heads up,
Kevin cheated. Please. I'm gonna need the commissioner to say the assistant to the commissioner.
this
to the
is-
assistant to the
where
CEO
it get-
of the
it's-
GM.
This is where it
of
gets
the-
complicated.
GM of the CEO.
This is where it gets complicated here.
So, in case you haven't been listening to the show and heard this, right? I made a mistake when I set this league up. We were supposed to do weekly
One mistake.
lineups, but they.
It's been many. Get to the point. Anyway,
This is why people don't like to be commissioner, and so
Or assistant
I,
of commissioner.
or assistant of commissioner. I accidentally set it as a daily league, and so what we all agreed on is that based off of our honor system, we would set our lineup by the first pitch on Monday, and we would not touch our lineups until after the last game on Sunday. So
And
it was
everyone's
set for the
complied
week.
with that all year.
Everyone is complying with that. Chase is really digging on this whole Kevin. Chase.
he's like everyone.
I gotta
So-
needle him while he's not on.
ESPN has this whole feature where you can like set like an auto lineup, which basically sets your lineup for you automatically based off of who's playing, who's not playing, who's in lineups, whatever.
Who's projected to do better.
Who's projected to do better. He had accidentally turned that on and
No,
forgotten
no,
about
no.
it.
He turned it on, but he didn't think it was going to do it for the whole week because he was like he was
Thought it
trying
would
to get
just
to vacation
automize
mode
it for the week.
Yeah, and
Well,
he didn't know it
yes.
was on for the whole
Which,
week. So
which,
in his defense-
if this league was set up weekly as opposed to daily, it probably would have.
Probably.
right.
Probably.
But he knows
But-
that it's not set up weekly.
He does know that, and he says it was an accident. I
No one
we're
denies that he thought
the
that.
league is currently investigating the matter.
The investigation's ongoing as we speak.
Come on, we know
Investigation.
you're not gonna penalize your assistant to the GM.
My
we all know
assistant
that.
to the GM.
That's true. That's it could get complicated there if you
best
start doing
friend.
he
that.
does all your paperwork,
Wife's
Jose. No one
podcast
expects you to punish him.
But the thing is that it hasn't made a difference. He's still losing 306.5 to 288.5. So at
So it
this
doesn't matter.
point, it doesn't matter.
That's actually the
Well,
best case
now
scenario,
ESPN's
to be honest.
about to, automize and put in his guy that's about to score 15.
All of a sudden, whoa, he just took the lead somewhere.
Honestly, if he somehow takes the lead and wins by a half a point, like that would be fucking awesome.
I would actually
That would be hilarious.
I would love
The
that.
unfortunate part of it all is that he's facing Paul, which our buddy Paul is probably like the nicest guy. He will like
And he's
not
also
complain
been
about
terrible.
anything, and he's been really bad. So I don't know if he'd be like, "All right, well, I guess it's fine, man." You just
Paul's like,
go
no,
on.
no, it's not fine.
That voice. I mean, I'm just happy that you're happy.
I'm just glad. That I'm just glad you had fun, man. I'm just glad you had fun.
It was a good game.
That's what this whole thing's about. It's just having
It's
fun.
just about having fun. So there's you have it. There's your fantasy update. I'll give you a quick, a really quick stud and dud for the lovable losers since Kev's not here. Tony or Luis Hill of the New York Yankees starting pitcher with a minus 20.5.
Jesus Christ.
That'll hurt your
Really?
feelings.
Holy
That'll hurt.
shit.
Did not do good for him.
That is truly terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard.
Yeah.
Out there, I believe it was Thursday. The Yankees lost to the Baltimore Orioles 17-5.
I did not. I just
yeah,
saw that they
that's-
lost 2 out of 3 to some other team.
Well, nope.
Oh, they didn't.
17 and a half. 17 and a half. 17 to 5 they lost.
I was wondering how they scored half a run.
Where'd the half come from?
That game was started by Luis Hill, who pitched 1 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs,
Is that good?
2 walks, 1 strikeout.
That sounds good. Is that good? He got a
pretty good.
strikeout?
He did get 1 strikeout.
I mean, have
got
any
one.
of us struck out a major league hitter? You know?
he did have 7 earned runs.
I could do that. I could.
I could give up some runs if need be.
I could do the earned runs.
Although, have you seen like when they bring in like outfielders to like pitch? The MLB hitters sometimes really struggle with it, man.
They really do.
Ronald
They really do.
Acuna struck out on like a guy throwing like 55 miles an hour because he it's just so hard to sit back and wait on.
just like, I just
when
can't
it's
fucking
40
wait on
miles
this.
an hour slower than you're used to.
Our buddy Mayor Adamson and contributor to Cup to Cups. This is where we fucked up the most consistent segment on the podcast.
Oh, he helps with that?
Listen, go and listen to the show this coming Thursday. This great. I
Jeez,
love.
that was a
come
hell
on,
of a
man.
stroke,
That was,
Jay.
that
Do
was
that
a
again.
really like that's a good
You
stroke.
got it.
Jay.
That wrist, bro.
Fucking practice.
Ladies, if you guys watch, if you do this fucking thing, just stop.
No,
just stop.
work
Be
the wrist.
gentle.
You're not
Work
supposed
the
to have
Gentle with the
rug burn
wrist.
afterwards?
Work the
You're not
wrist.
supposed
It's
to have
all on
rug
the
burn
wrist.
afterwards. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Andy pointed out that another person who, since you're talking about position players that have struck players out, Anthony Rizzo, current Yankee great, he has a reputation of
that's
striking out pitchers. He's hurt now, and Kevin did kiss of death him last week. So. And Kevin did also bring up Justin Timberlake last week, and so he's been kissing a death.
Jesus.
Can we hand over the title yet?
Nope,
No,
still
no,
yours.
Chase.
No,
I
it's
feel
still
like Kevin
yours,
has
Chase.
done more.
Nobody has murdered
No, you've done
Trader
more
Joe,
damage.
the Trader Joe, like you did, Chase.
Yeah, you have murder under your belt, bro.
Yeah,
so,
that's you have that title.
I mean, he
Until
murdered
Kevin
his
murders
ankle.
somebody-
That doesn't count.
no.
He murdered his reputation.
Someone's dead. Someone is
No?
literally buried alive, like buried dead, like
Dead.
not alive.
Someone we all
Dead,
love
dead.
too. Someone
And I
we
mean,
all
Jason
loved.
buried the Packers' Super Bowl hopes one year. No,
Okay, now we're just fucking. Now we're just being mean. Okay.
Well, that's
Now
a
we're just
perfect.
being mean.
That's a perfect little segue to kind of wrap us up here. I do want to just throw in that Mayor Adamson does do a pretty good job of tossing some fuck ups for 7 minutes that I don't
Love it.
ever really use. And so we do want to mention, unfortunately, Kevin's not here to hear this one, but he throws this one. He says, Kevin, Jordan Love is older than Trevor Lawrence by almost a full year. He also stepped into a roster that largely looked the same as the year prior when the team won 8 games, whereas Trevor Lawrence started his first year in the team that just had the worst record in the entire league the year previous. Objective stuff. He just wanted to make sure that y'all knew. There's a bit of beef going on between Mayor Andy and Kevin right now over Trevor Lawrence's extension and the lack of Jordan Love's extension at the moment. So
Is that in the Instagram chat? Should I read that?
yeah, it's
Yes.
mostly going on in
Yeah,
there. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. If you tell me shit like that, that's gonna get me to like go and read that chat.
Just fucking check out your friends talking. Why do we have to persuade you to be friends with us, dude?
Jason, we're in 17 chats, bro.
That's fine.
You're acting like this is one consolidated chat that I'm ignoring. Bro.
Remove your fucking Pandora playlist and just go to
Never.
fucking
Never.
man-
Get rid of it. You don't need Pandora
90s
anymore.
and early 2000s rock Pandora playlist is going nowhere.
Bro,
I-
let it go, Pandora. Let it
You're
go.
keeping Pandora alive.
You are their
the
sole
youngest-
customer.
You were
Goddamn
literally the
right.
youngest person that listens
Goddamn
to
right
Pandora,
I
to be
am.
honest with you.
I love that playlist.
You know
It's
that
going nowhere.
you can pick the songs you want to hear now. If you
No,
use
that's not
any
a
other.
thing. No
They're
one
like,
can do that.
Chase, thank you for subscribing to Pandora. Thank you, Chase, for sticking around.
No one's allowed. Also, sorry, last thing. FSU, when they were playing, I want to say it was UConn. They were playing some team in the postseason, and this stat blew my mind. One of the players they were playing, like I said, I want to say it was UConn's best hitter, was older than Juan Soto.
Damn.
What?
Juan Soto has been in the fucking majors for like
Lord.
7 or 8 years at this point.
How old was this kid?
like 25.
Dude's in his mid-late 20s. Fucking
25 or
UConn still.
26. He was like a sixth year, like COVID, sixth or seventh
6 year
COVID
extension senior.
Yeah.
That
How
is
old's Juan
crazy.
Soto?
25 years old.
Yeah. This
which
guy was
is-
like 3 days older than Juan
Wild.
Soto. It blew. I was like, there's no shot. That's legit. Juan Soto has been in the MLB for like 7 years.
Yep, he's been in the league since 2018.
6 years,
Damn.
excuse me.
It's crazy.
And this guy was older than him.
Bro,
Fuck that.
Crazy. That's insane.
they come back. He's got one more year of eligibility. He's got one more year after this,
I was
then
like,
he's done.
holy shit. Sorry. It just, when we were talking about that, it just
Man's going to be
sparked my
30
memory,
playing college
so.
baseball.
He was that kid in Little League that was like, why is that kid so big?
That kid is 17 years old, and this is a middle school
He's in
team.
high school.
That reminds me of the bench warmers scene where the guy comes in as like a 40-year-old pitcher. Great movie.
That's a
Guys,
classic.
this was 7 Minutes in Heaven. We had a blast. Please check us out. CupToCupLife.com, Cup to Cup Show on all social medias.
No
CupToCupLife.com/merch. For some t-shirts and shit. We actually probably should get some more sports swag, or actually get sports swag. I don't think we have any sports swag. And we should do that. I'll add that to the list. But that's the episode, boys.
Innuendos we can put on shirts. That
Oh,
are
so many
sports
sexual
related.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
And if you guys are listening to this late or listening to us now, the new episode, the full episode, the
Fully
what
on
do you call it? The
Tuesday,
regular
on this
episode will be
day.
dropping on Thursday.
Of our Lord.
So check that out too.
Yeah, check it out. It's the last episode of Pride Month, so if you don't listen to it, you're fucking homophobic.
Yeah.
There
Don't
you go.
be a homophobe.
You better listen.
Don't be a homophobe.
Be better.
Be better.
Be an
Don't be
ally.
like Kev.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Don't be like, holla.